Okay, here we are for part two of my series on the games for the Outlaws versus the Shock. My first part, I reviewed Lijiang Tower, which the Outlaws won, and now we're on to part two with the hybrid map of Blizzard World. I remember this being a very, very interesting map, so looking forward to see how these teams play this. Yeah, I'm just going to skip ahead to the beginning. And then right once the gates open, I'll just kind of try and talk about the comps, depending on what we see here. So, so we're just seeing the basic brawl mirror here. Yeah, this is generally what was expected to be the meta, so this is pretty standard stuff. This is a good old Overwatch with just the comps being completely mirrored. Okay, interestingly... Alright, so Outlaws just staying up on this high ground. I think that's fine for the time being, though you're going to want to rotate the point at some point. That's where you're going to want to take this fight. Piggy standing here on this off angle is weird. Okay. Okay. That was a terrible engage. That was really poorly played from the Outlaws. Yeah, so they're going to rush here. They miss everyone with that wall. The wall does nothing. On the other side, Piggy just gets CC'd back here. Wait. Actually. Okay, so now I'm thinking about this. This is a situation where I actually really like their plan here. The execution was bad, but the plan was actually very, very good. So the idea here is, or what I presume the idea here is, Piggy is sitting right here, just saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, come get me. The plan here is instead of walling off the Rhine and going after the Rhine, they're going to let everyone go after Piggy, and then they're just going to try and set the wall right here to catch whoever the last person is, presumably like Violet or Striker or someone like that. And then Piggy, just being a fast diva, will be able to fly over the wall. And if you look at from like up here, if someone's like to the left of that post, like by those rocks, that's a quicker engage than like right underneath the Fargo Deep Mine. So if you're able to drop down quick, get like the one or two people that's straggling behind, you'll then be able to push up and clean up the stragglers. So I think if that's the plan, I actually really like that. But yeah, so you saw Piggy trying to fly forward there, but he just gets CC'd too hard. And yeah, so ultimately I do believe that it's a good idea, but not a good execution. And yeah, so at this point, with your off tank out of the way, it's difficult. And FD God is just going on a rampage here. Like 4 kills there or something like that. Love to see it. Love to see it. But yeah, I think that if they properly pull that off, that could be a very good one. I don't know how often you're gonna like see them try that again, because that's I mean, if I'm picking that up in a VOD review, other teams are as well. So yeah, the Shock immediately are just going to go forward, try and take control of the pylon terrace. Not really. Okay, so they are going to back up, rotate around to the cart now that it's gotten through these arches. Okay, Violet separates himself. Okay, and gets killed by the Deadeye. Okay, Shocker just going to push this as far as they go. As they can. Use that Deadeye to just Yeah. Okay, so this is a very, very interesting fight. So the Outlaws come around this way. Violet kind of gets split off and killed. But at this point, the Outlaws have just been able to push the cart, and are able to just kind of slowly back up as Outlaws keep pushing, who are now in like sort of the attacking position. The Shock are fine with this because they just get this free cart push. They try to get the Deadeye to continue to keep the Outlaws zoned off, but he ends up getting picked by Dante. And Nero, very interestingly, is going to drop the Blizzard here. I mean, yeah, he freezes up the tank, or Jangu. Dante! My goodness. Okay, so I'm going to say it's a very weird Blizzard, but now that Dante tries to use his own, he gets frozen out of it. That's pretty bad. Okay, FD God uses his own. Juby uses his sound barrier. And right, because the Shock have the better spawns, most of their team's already back. So this team's kind of just setting to completely re-engage here. It's a weird window when you're only 3. Okay, actually no, that's a very good window. Right, so what I was thinking about there is, you've only got the 3 people. You're not like really going to be able to kill anyone off of that. But as I said a lot in the first video, Windows is only ultimate in this meta. You're just using it to create space for yourself. And so here, because the Shock didn't have their main take with them yet, they had to respect that window. So they just kind of had to back off, which allowed the 3 of them to then slip out and survive and wait for the rest of the team. Because if the 3 of them had gotten staggered, second point would be over. So that was actually a very, very clutch window. But, right, so now you're going to see, so the Shock went and rotated up through the Nexus and are now trying to take control of the pylon, while Troyhyoben is just slowly pushing the cart underneath. We'll see Piggy going down to drop. Okay. And then that's the trade of the zones. So you say Violet drops his window, Happy drops his Deadeye. Troyhyoben goes to disrupt, so I think, Shock create a little bit more space here. Trading self-destructs. Oh, massive play from Happy, though. So Happy manages to kill... Happy manages to kill Troyhyoben as he's out of mech for self-destruct. And then Jangu gets the solo shatter onto FD God. I don't think they'll be able to push off of this, though. Okay, good. Happy, my God. Okay, so Happy really saves him there. So that 2-man shadow there could have been very big, but in the end, Happy having the kill onto Troyhyoben first and then onto Violet was pretty massive there. It prevents them from really being able to do anything with all that position they'd gained. Alright, so once again going to see the Shock try and rotate up and take control of the pylon. Outlaw is just looking to contest this high point, this high ground. Okay, this is a very weird rotation. So we see, the window come out, and then, and then we see Shock invest beat and then drop to the low ground. Okay, so first of all, okay, so that's what it is. So that wall is kind of awkward from... I mean, yeah, I guess it's pretty good. You still keep Violet and Striker down on that side, but yeah, so it's a decent wall. Better wall from Nero, I'd say, though, blocking them off. But yeah, the big thing is Piggy coming and knocking down Super. So that's actually a massive play, because now the Shock cannot continue to fight on this high ground, because Super's going to be out of this fight for a long time. So they're all just forced to drop down with him. All forced down to drop down with him, and that beat is just completely wasted. They don't get any value out of that. So that's pretty massive. So Juby should have a free beat here at some point, just to be able to make a big play. Okay, once again we see the shock engage with their window here, and okay, Juby is just going to counter it by beating. Oh, Jongu, it's a massive 3-man shatter, and as Choryobin shattered, Dante drops in the Blizzard, going to force out this positioning. Super's in a bad way here. Jongu gets traded out for Nero, though. Happy takes out Violet. Super takes out Happy. Okay. Choryobin loses mech. Man. So the Outlaws are just really experts at just weathering the storm. So they lose some people, but I mean, well, I guess also this is the point in the map where they have like great spawn advantages. So any sort of trade is in their favor. But right, so if we look now, Shock go to regroup in Nexus. Shock have a massive advantage with the ultimates. So you would think that yeah, you would think that this would be an easy fight win for them. Yeah, the Outlaws have nothing, and they're like not really even close to anything either. But you see, Happy has switched to the Widowmaker, which I think is a good choice. Usually in this composition, you prefer the McCree or something like that. But at this point, they realize that they have no win condition if they stick with McCree. So they just say, okay, fuck, we need Happy to get a pick. So that's just going to be what they're going to have to do. Okay. And that's exactly it. Happy gets the pick onto May, but there's still a lot of ultimate advantage here. Oh, and then also the kill onto Violet. Okay, but Happy gets traded out, so it's a 4-4 here. Striker gets the kill on the Crimzo too, so advantage Shock here, but the Outlaws do have the better respawns. Nero with the ice, or with the Blizzard to kind of zone them off the point. And here they just kind of continue to trade back and forth. And once again, the longer these trades go, the better it is for the Outlaws. So at this point, the Shock just realized they have to back out. They've got one push left. And there's actually advantage Outlaws here from the ultimates, right? So, okay, Happy's immediately going to drop the sights to really force the Shock to wait as long as possible before they can finally regroup and attack again. Potentially would have maybe liked to see him save it a little bit longer, like use it now where everyone's actually teamed up, because before, you know, they were still waiting on respawns. But either way, you're kind of zoning them out for a little bit longer. But yeah, I mean, you still have pretty much double support ultimates, double tank ultimates. So you would think that the Outlaws would be in a good position to hold here. But yeah, Shock are gonna have to look for a lot of value with this Dead Eye and this Blizzard, or just straight picks somehow. So okay, nice wall from Nero to deny the window. Super has taken a lot of damage. Nice shatter from Jongu. Okay, Violet gets the later window. And Piggy just whiffs his ultimate. So what we ultimately see here is this is the opposite of what was going on in the Lijiang Tower fights, where the Shock would drop their window first, the Outlaws would pull back and then re-engage with their own window. Shock did exactly that here. So let's see. So yeah, there you see the window. Shock are just kind of surviving this, and then here you will see the window come in as along with the Blizzard from Nero. At that point, you'll see Jongu kind of get stuck in there and finished off. So yeah, now here's the Wizard, the window and the Blizzard, the Wizard, if you will. Yeah, and then that's a very nice wall from Nero as well, kind of just preventing the support. But yeah, so that was very nicely played. So that's been a very interesting. Okay, and then of course, yeah, just gonna go for the staggers here. But yeah, it's been a very interesting interaction that has seemed to hold true pretty much every time, where the later window wins. So that's quite unusual. Okay, so Shock with, just over a minute here. Obviously, they're really going to have to push it if they want to finish. Striker creating space. Once again, Deadeye is zoning ultimate. And yeah, they've managed to push back the Outlaws a bit. Dante's in a precarious situation. Okay, re-engage with the window. Once again, get their own space, create it back. Okay, once again, later window wins. Later window wins. Yeah, so they they dropped this window, but the Shock just kind of walked through it. Yeah, because I mean, if you look at this, it's kind of a strange angle where the Shock are able to take this like very tight angle and then rush at it. Yeah, I mean, like no one's even firing through this window, so this window just ultimately gets no value. And besides, yeah, and so the very, very interesting point here is usually when you see the first team drop the window, the other team backs up. But here, they immediately just pull the trigger and drop the beat. And so they say, we know Droopy doesn't have his beat. We need to go aggressive if we want to finish with a time bank. So they see that window come out and they just immediately hit the gas pedal and go. So this comes out. Yeah, no one's looking. They run in. Violet drops his window. Django gets killed. Wall's too late. Field's too late. Super hits a big shatter in the end to really just clean up these kills, make sure that the Outlaws won't be able to recontest, or I doubt the Outlaws will be able to do any sort of serious recontest here. Okay, Piggy gets booped away. Massive boop there onto Piggy. So that was actually pretty huge. But yeah, great decision making from the Shock there at the end, realizing that window wasn't really doing anything, and that they could just they had the advantage with the beat, that they could just engage very hard and followed it up with their own window. So that was very nicely played there at the end. But yeah, some good back and forth from these two teams. Would have been interesting to see. I mean, I think if Outlaws don't botch that first defense, where they, where Piggy just ends up feeding right here. If they don't botch that, they're in a much better position to hold that, because they ended up having to hold point B for a long time. Like that was like 3 or 4 team fights. So if they had managed to just have one, like at least one win on the point A attack, then you're in a much better position to hold on point B. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So Shock running the same comp as before. Outlaws opting into a Hanzo. Right. So this let's see, Happy try and rotate up onto this high ground, and they're gonna just create a nice little crossfire for him. But yeah, interestingly, the Shock immediately decide to just give up the high ground. I don't know if that's just like always the game plan, to just immediately say, all right, there's no point in us trading poke there. We just immediately want to go to where we're going to fight from. Or if they say, oh shit, we see that they have a Hanzo, we're going to lose, a shield war, and Happy has that one-shot potential, so it's better to just go fight. So I don't know what the exact plan is there, but I think either way it's a smart choice to immediately just rotate on the point. But Happy is just going to free fire into there. Chohyobin's going to go after him, but Juby is there to peel for him. And yeah, I mean, if you're the Outlaws, you're just happy to just sit here and just kind of not really even engage. And wait for that. Wait for Happy to get a kill. So yeah, now that Happy's down, you're ready to go. So you see the Shock got very aggressive there first, because That's what happens when you lose a player. If you lose a player, you have to make a risky move to try and make up for it. You need to like do something to be able to make up for it. But yeah, ultimately isn't. Okay, that is actually crazy. So they managed to fight back into this really well, and then Super has his ultimate here, and he just whiffs it. If he gets anyone with that ult, they've got a very good chance of stabilizing. But in the end, Janggu was able to get 1 or 2 with his, and that the Shock are just gonna clean it up. Or the Outlaws are just going to clean it up. So the Shock did do a pretty good job of fighting back, even though they were down 1. But yeah, I mean, either way, that's rough. That's rough. So we see on both sides the point be given up immediately on the first attack. All right, so Shock immediately. Okay, rotating back around. Very interesting rotation. Happy's going to drop in the Dragon to try and cut them off and manage to get FD God. Okay, that's pretty massive. Okay, Nero going to drop in this wall, and when it will allow them to kill Janggu, but once again, okay, am I watching the same attack as before? Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is like the same sort of situation that we saw before, right? With the attacking team being 1 player down, but just rotating onto the cart and just getting this this free push. Yeah, Dante's gonna Blizzard, very clutch, getting that onto Super. Happy gets killed. Okay, double self-destructs. Okay, Chohyobin just makes some massive moves here. But ultimately, Janggu's able to come back. Okay, no, so the Shock managed to stabilize there. So that's very, very impressively done. I'm just going to stagger Piggy a little bit, but man, yeah, I guess once that fight kind of broke down, the Outlaws seemed to be a little bit less comfortable with staying together and making a plan, and the Shock were able to coordinate a little bit better and make the most of the chaos that had been created by the team getting split up and then losing their main tank and whatnot. So yeah, well done by the Shock. But okay, Happy just immediately opens it up with a kill on the Violet. Sky is having an excellent game so far. Okay, Striker's immediately just going to High Noon, force them back, just kind of save some time for Violet to be able to come back in. Now going to rotate up through Nexus, try and reclaim this high ground, while the Outlaws for the time being are just going to be happy to get some cart progress. But yeah, by now Violet is back, so yeah, now we're going to see the Outlaws rotate up through Nexus and then come onto Pylon. Likely try to push the Shock back into this area, from which point you'll likely see the Outlaws try and control the high ground while Piggy goes down. Yeah, Piggy will go down and kind of contest the cart. But yeah, once again, you just see that window there, just kind of zoning them away, buying time. But yeah, so here, massive play from Troy right there. So yeah, what I was gonna say is basically the idea here is yeah, well, I mean, yeah, so the Outlaws set up this very nice crossfire here. So they've got control of the pylon here. So they have Janggu hold up here, protecting Dante, who's just firing in his icicles, and then over here you get Crimzo, Happy, and Juby just firing the shots, and down here below it's just Piggy just pushing this cart. But yeah, so I mean it's a pretty decent position to just kind of wait until you're ready to take like a better engage. But I think you can. I think the big advantage you have here is if you just like let Piggy push, eventually Chohyobin will have to drop down to contest, and I think you'll most likely be in a better position to poke down Choi Hyobin with this crossfire that they've set up. Whereas the shock will all be like firing from like a weird angle up here, or they'll have to expose themselves very heavily if they want to like help Choi contest. So it's a pretty good way to play this, I think, from the Outlaws. Well, I guess so they decide that they want to engage, and yeah, so they tried to shoot in this dragon, but Choi Hyobin just eats it up. So that's a massive play from him, and I guess that kind of breaks up what the Outlaws are going for. So now they decide, okay, now it's time for just everyone to drop down. Wall doesn't do anything from Nero. Okay, window first from Crimzo. Oh, and it's a nice blizzard and a very good wall as well. They're able to survive that thanks to FD God's beat, but now we're gonna see Nero's blizzard come out. Yeah, very big blizzard there. So I am curious. Yeah, I mean, I think that really just was like a big difference with the beat, and then also, of course, this wall that gets set up here, kind of cutting off the tanks from everyone else. Yeah, very well played from the shock there. The Outlaws, engaged pretty hard with that window and the blizzard, but they just aren't really able to get anything out of it. All right, so once again, shock coming up, taking control of Pylon Terrace. Alright, taking a look at the ults here. So yeah, you just got double tank ults for Outlaws, window for shock, along with Deadeye. So good thing for the shock here is they have two zoning ultimates where they can just kind of force the Outlaws back and just give themselves some more time. Okay. Outlaws taking this pretty slowly, likely just looking to build up. Okay. Wow. Okay. Massive engage there. So first of all, I gotta see that from Crimzo's POV, how he just manages to get that Mei. Oh, sorry. Do I not know how to count? No, I don't. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, I get the kill onto the Mei here, and then also this bomb from Piggy just gets massive value. Okay, so he was just... Okay, so the Mei was just low, and Crimzo just gets the last shot, and Mei doesn't use block because the wall was up right in front of her, so she assumes that, she's safe. But yeah, so off the back of this, you gotta think that the Outlaws are gonna win this. Okay, so they're gonna use High Noon to try and buy some time, but, I mean, they're able to just push just fine, so not really any value gained out of that Deadeye. Yeah, I mean, it's just numbers advantage. It's just too much pressure. Just too much pressure. Okay, so the Outlaws are going to... Yeah, just go get some cleanup kills. Alright. So I feel like they weren't able to stagger them quite as heavily as the shock did. So that could be a difference with how this last fight gets approached. But they definitely have significantly more time. They have probably like a minute more than the Outlaws, or than the shock did, so that's pretty impressive. But yeah, so you see this first fight is like happening up here, whereas I believe the shock were like up here somewhere when they were taking their first fight. But yeah, so here we're going to see this window engage on the cart. Super is not able to get anything with the shatter, but they do just very aggressively push through that window. Holy shit. Okay, so we're just playing goats again. Everyone's just dropping everything. Okay, so we're going to see, I think, double blizzard, double beat, and then Violet drop in his amplification matrix. Yeah, so there goes Nero. There goes Dante. There goes Choi. There goes the double beats. Oh, and Happy once again does the same thing he did before. killing Choi Hyobin during the self-destruct. All right, Troy, no more self-destructs for you. Okay, but yeah. So in the meantime, yeah, both the teams are just kind of waiting out the blizzards with their beats. Violet does have a nice perch up here with the window, but ultimately, you know, with off tank missing, is a hey. Happy is just hard carrying. So Dante goes down, but I'm about to say that's a good way to trade it out, but Happy just immediately trades it back. Double headshot. That was insane. Happy is such a freak. Okay. So at this point, you're up 5-4. You should be in a pretty good position to just... And Striker gets another kill, or Happy gets another kill on the Striker. And at this point, you're just rolling. You know, they do manage to trade out Jonggu. Yeah. Yeah, Happy's just going to make sure that they get enough space while Jonggu comes back. Okay. Oh, that DMAC onto Choi Hyobin's huge. He's going to get killed here. And Dante gets the kill onto Violet. My God. So the amount of the times that the shock supports him dying first in these fights is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Dante with a very questionable positioning is super far ahead there. Nice shatter. Violet is just not allowed to play in this game. He comes back from death and just immediately gets blown up by Piggy. Yeah, so Dante goes down. Not too surprising considering how crazy out of position he was like before the fight started. But you know, Super... Yeah, we saw Super die earlier after that shatter. Okay, yeah, and then at this point, Juby, no, FD God won't have his heat up yet, so there you have it. There you have it. So yeah, those are just some really nice picks there that they ultimately had. You know, with the double kills on the Violet, that was especially brutal. So like during that like whole last fight, the Shock were just down their main healer, right? You know, like the only heals they had were the Lucio, which is just not going to be enough. But yeah, then ultimately, you know, Juby just pulls the trigger at the end with the beat, and with that they're able to go in and clean up that fight. So next, going to see the extra time push from the Shock. Interested to see how the Outlaws play this.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
So they're on the high ground again. Piggy's staying up. Probably see them rotate here. Okay, no. They did it. Okay, so this is exactly what I was talking about during the defense. So this is what I was saying. I like the idea of what they were trying to do when on that first defense, but yeah, I mean, I guess ultimately Piggy being there is really just unnecessary. It doesn't like really accomplish much because if you think about it, the Shock is going to go this way anyway, you know, right? If you're on a brawl comp, you want to fight on the point. Yeah, unless they're going to go for like a rotation through here or something. I don't know. Either way, then you're going to be looking to do something different. But like if the team is fighting from here, your only option is to either go left or go right. And you're not going to go right because that's just going to open yourself up to way too much damage. So you're just always going to go left. And so at that point, the Outlaws just know they can just drop that wall there, catch the last straggler, and with that, they should be able to clean up some kills. And this time, they don't botch the wall to catch Violet. Once again, Shock support dying at the beginning of the fight. Nice immortality field there. I mean, yeah, that's the difference there. Immortality field. That they're able to kill Super as well. Kill Choi. Striker does get a flashbang kill onto Happy, which is could be pretty big because Happy's not going to be on a very fast rollout hero. So even though, you know, this is not a good situation for the Shock being out, having to contest this late, at least, you know, at least Happy's not there immediately. So they do have a... Okay, Happy's back for this fight. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that was just a good wall. So they drop the window and, you know, block off super and are able to just focus him down very fast. And, you know, with that, with your main tank down, that's GG. The rest of this will likely just be cleanup. Yeah, they throw in the blizzard, but it's too late. So yeah, that was very nicely played from the Outlaws. I really like that play that they have set up with the wall and dropping down on the high ground and catching the back line instead of catching the front line. It's a very, very cool variation. And I'd be very interested to see like where on like what other maps you can do the same idea of, you know, okay, we're just gonna sit on the high ground and once, you know, they go through, we'll just have easy access to their back line as opposed to you know, trying to take out the Rhine, who obviously has much more survivability options. So that was a very well played defense. But I am curious to see how will the Outlaws fare on this attack. So it looks like they're opting into the McCree here, which I think makes sense. Because before, right, you have Happy set up here and shoot in with this crossfire, but it's a pretty tight angle. And with this, like, short amount of time, you know, because before on the first attack, you have a bunch of time and you say, okay, we can just wait. And at some point, Happy's going to get a pick. But with this little time, by the time, like, you get into position, he has, like, and really not that much time to really even try and get a pick. So, yeah, so I think it's a smart choice to just go with the McCree here and, you know, attempt to just do more of a classic brawl. So Shock don't really contest them on the way up. It's going to be swinging away here. Both teams just going to be looking to build up a window and use that as like their primary engage.
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, trading. Oh, but Nero gets a kill on a Crimzo, so that's massive. Because there's only, I mean, there's less than 20 seconds left. So at this point, Outlaws have no chance of like really getting a good recontest here. I mean, they are gonna have to move to point before Crimzo's even back. So that was a massive play from Nero getting that pick there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Piggy loses his life or loses his mech for contesting there, and yeah, that's a very nice blizzard there. Very nice blizzard. Just perfectly splits up the team. Doesn't allow them to access point from this left side, and yeah, the rest of this is just clean up. So we end up in a tie here. But yeah, gotta say that was an awesome map to watch. That was a lot of fun. A lot of cool stuff coming out from both teams. You know, definitely the most worrying thing for the Shock is just how often their supports died first. That's pretty worrying. You know, something that you may have expected from FD God being, you know, a more aggro Lucio, but yeah, Violet. I usually don't remember dying quite that often, but I think, you know, it's not just purely like a mistakes thing. I think it's also just the fact that the Outlaws played very well. It was very interesting how many things kind of like went the same on both of those attacks, right? So on the Shock's first attack, they cap A on the first attempt. Outlaws do the same. Then you know, as they're going into capture B, you know, they win the last fight with the big beat engage. Outlaws do the same there, and then on the second attempt on point A, You see for both teams the Baptiste getting picked early, and off of the back of that, the defense being able to pull off the win. So, yeah, very, very interesting map. But yeah, I'll be going on to the next map after this, which I want to say is Dorado. I think Dorado is the next one. Yeah, be very interested to look at that one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any suggestions or anything to improve the quality of these VOD reviews. Like I said in the first video, I'm very new to making these videos, so any suggestions you have would be greatly appreciated. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.